Mastering emotional intelligence is the foundation of influencing anyone, no matter how difficult they may seem. At its core, influence is not about manipulation, it's about understanding what drives people at a deeper level. Every human being is motivated by emotion first and logic second. If you want to create a lasting impact on someone's thoughts or actions, you must learn to recognize, understand, and influence their emotional state. People make decisions based on how they feel in the moment, and those feelings often dictate their behavior more than rational arguments ever could. This means that to influence anyone, you must start by managing your own emotions and tuning in to the emotions of others. The first step in developing emotional intelligence is self-awareness. You cannot guide others if you cannot first guide yourself. This means becoming conscious of your emotional patterns, what triggers you, how you react, and how your emotional state affects those around you. When you understand and control your emotional responses, you show up with more clarity, confidence, and confidence. People are naturally drawn to those who remain centered, even in challenging situations. When you operate from a place of calm certainty, you create an environment where others feel safe to open up and engage with you. Beyond self-awareness, the next level is the ability to read and respond to the emotional cues of others. Every person communicates on two levels: what they say and how they feel. Most people focus only on the words being spoken, but true influence comes from recognizing the unspoken emotional undercurrents. Pay attention to body language, tone of voice, and subtle shifts in energy. When you understand these cues, you can adjust your approach to meet people where they are emotionally. If someone is defensive, pushing harder will only increase their resistance. Instead, soften your energy, listen deeply, and validate their feelings. People want to be heard and understood, and when you give them that gift, they become far more open to your perspective. Another critical aspect of emotional intelligence is empathy, the ability to step into someone else's world and see things from their point of view. Influence is not about forcing your will onto others, it's about aligning with their needs and desires. When you can identify what matters most to someone and connect your message to their core values, you create a powerful emotional bridge. People are far more likely to be influenced when they feel you genuinely care about their experience. This requires setting aside your agenda and becoming fully present with the other person. Ask yourself, what is this person feeling right now? What do they need to feel understood and valued? When you approach people with curiosity and compassion, you dissolve barriers and open the door to deeper connection. Finally, the most influential people know how to manage the emotional climate of any interaction. Your energy is contagious, and the emotional state you bring to a conversation will set the tone for how others respond. If you want to create positive influence, focus on raising your emotional state before engaging with others. Shift into a place of certainty, enthusiasm, and care. When you bring this kind of emotional intelligence into your relationships, you don't just influence people, you inspire them. The ability to build rapport is one of the most powerful tools for influencing anyone, no matter how difficult they may be. At its core, rapport is about creating a sense of connection and trust. People are far more likely to listen to and be influenced by someone they feel comfortable with. It's not about manipulation, it's about aligning with others on an emotional, psychological level. When people feel that you genuinely understand them, their defenses drop and they become more open to your ideas. The key to building rapport lies in matching and mirroring the other person's behavior in subtle yet effective ways. This is not about copying or mimicking in an obvious way, but about reflecting their communication style, energy, and emotional state. When done correctly, it creates an unconscious sense of familiarity and trust. One of the most effective ways to build rapport is through body language. People feel comfortable around those who are similar to them, and by mirroring someone's posture, gestures, and facial expressions, you create a sense of similarity that fosters connection. For example, if someone is sitting with their arms crossed, you might cross your arms gently after a few moments. If they lean forward, you can do the same. The key is to be subtle and natural, force and mechanical. The other person will sense it, and it may backfire. When you align your physical presence with theirs, it signals on a subconscious level that you are in sync, making them feel more relaxed and open to your influence. Beyond body language, matching a person's vocal tone, pace, and volume is another powerful way to deepen rapport. If someone speaks quickly and with enthusiasm, adopting a similar tone shows that you are on the same wavelength. Conversely, if they speak slowly and calmly, matching that rhythm communicates that you respect their energy and are willing to meet them where they are. This kind of verbal mirroring helps people feel understood and acknowledged. When they sense that you are in tune with their communication style, they begin to trust you more and become more receptive to your ideas. Another crucial aspect of rapport is understanding and reflecting the emotional state of the person you're interacting with. If someone is excited and passionate, meeting that energy with your own excitement strengthens the connection. If they are frustrated or upset, acknowledging their feelings with empathy builds trust. People want to feel seen and heard, and when you validate their emotional experience, you create a bond that allows your influence to grow. This doesn't mean you have to agree with everything they say, but by respecting their emotional reality, you create an environment where they feel safe to engage with you. Rapport also thrives on shared experiences and common ground. People are naturally drawn to those who share their values, interests, and beliefs. When you actively listen and find areas of agreement, you create a bridge that makes influence easier. Ask thoughtful questions to uncover what matters most to the other person, and when you find points of alignment, highlight them. This shared understanding fosters a sense of belonging and connection, making it easier for your ideas to resonate. Ultimately, building rapport is about being present and adaptable. It requires paying attention to the other person's cues and responding in a way that makes them feel valued and understood. The stronger the rapport, the easier it becomes to influence others, not through force or persuasion, but through genuine connection. When people feel that you truly understand and respect them, they naturally become more open to your ideas and guidance. The law of reciprocity is a powerful psychological principle that can significantly enhance your ability to influence others. At its core, this principle is simple. When you give something of value to someone, they naturally feel compelled to return the favor. This is not about manipulation or expecting something in return immediately. It's about creating a genuine sense of goodwill. Human beings are hardwired to respond to acts of generosity. When people feel that you have given them something meaningful, whether it's time, attention, knowledge, or support, they instinctively want to reciprocate. This dynamic can be a powerful tool for influencing even the most difficult individuals because it shifts the interaction from one of resistance to one of cooperation. The key to leveraging the law of reciprocity effectively is to give without strings attached. People can sense when there is an agenda behind your actions, and if they feel manipulated, the principle loses its power. The most effective way to use reciprocity is to provide genuine value with no immediate expectation of return. When you give from a place of authenticity, it fosters trust and goodwill. This could be as simple as offering a sincere compliment, sharing valuable information, or providing help when it is needed most. Small acts of kindness can have a profound impact. When people feel that you are willing to contribute to their well-being without ulterior motives, they become more open to your ideas and more willing to listen. Timing also plays a crucial role in the effectiveness of reciprocity. Offering value when someone is facing a challenge or is in need creates a stronger emotional connection. When people are vulnerable or uncertain, an act of kindness or assistance has a greater impact. It resonates on a deeper emotional level and leaves a lasting impression. This is especially true in situations where others may not be offering support. Being the person who steps in to provide value during these moments not only strengthens the relationship, but that also increases your ability to influence future decisions and actions. Another important aspect of reciprocity is understanding what the other person values most. Different people are motivated by different things. Some value information, others value emotional support, and others may value practical assistance. Pay attention to their needs and preferences so you can provide value that is meaningful to them. When you give in a way that aligns with their values, the emotional impact is stronger and the desire to reciprocate becomes more compelling. It's not about offering what you think is valuable, it's about recognizing what matters to them and delivering that in a thoughtful, genuine way. Consistency is also essential when applying the law of reciprocity. One-time gestures can be powerful, but ongoing generosity creates a sustained sense of obligation and goodwill. By consistently offering value, you reinforce the perception that you are someone who genuinely cares. This establishes a foundation of trust and makes it easier to influence others over the long term. When people know that you are a consistent source of value and support, they become more likely to engage with your ideas and follow your lead. Ultimately, the law of reciprocity works because it taps into a universal human desire to maintain balance in relationships. Reframing perspectives through the power of questions is one of the most effective ways to influence anyone. No matter how challenging they may be, people are often resistant to direct commands or advice because it can feel like a challenge to their autonomy. However, when you ask the right questions, you guide others to discover new insights and conclusions on their own. This approach is powerful because people are far more likely to accept and act on ideas they believe they arrived at themselves. Questions open the mind, encourage curiosity, and shift focus. By framing questions in a specific way, you can change how someone perceives a situation, which ultimately influences their thoughts, emotions, and decisions. The key to asking questions effectively is to guide the other person's focus without triggering defensiveness. When people feel judged or pushed, they often shut down or resist. However, when you ask questions that invite exploration and reflection, you create a sense of partnership rather than opposition. For instance, instead of telling someone they saw it wrong, ask, what if there's another way to look at this? This subtle shift encourages openness while preserving their sense of control. Questions that begin with what or how are particularly effective because they prompt thought without feeling confrontational. By asking open-ended questions, you allow the other person to express themselves fully while also guiding them toward a new perspective. Another powerful way to reframe perspectives is by focusing on the possibilities rather than the limitations. Many people get stuck in negative thought patterns, focusing only on what is not working or what could go wrong. By asking questions that redirect their attention to potential solutions, you can help them break free from limiting beliefs. For example, instead of reinforcing their doubts, you could ask, what would it look like if this worked out better than you expected? This simple question encourages the mind to search for positive outcomes and opens the door to new ways of thinking. When people start envisioning better possibilities, their emotional state shifts, making them more receptive to new ideas. Timing is also critical when using questions to influence. Asking the right question at the right moment can create a breakthrough. When someone is stuck or frustrated, an insightful question can disrupt their current thought process and invite a new way of seeing the situation. For example, if someone is overwhelmed by a problem, asking what's one small step you could take right now shifts their focus from the immensity of the challenge to a manageable action. This not only reduces feelings of overwhelm, but also empowers them to move forward. The right question can transform a state of frustration into one of clarity and possibility. Additionally, questions can be used to align someone's perspective with their deeper values and goals. People are more likely to change their behavior when they see how it connects to what matters most to them. By asking questions like, how does this decision align with the kind of person you want to be? You tap into their intrinsic motivations. This approach allows them to connect their actions to their identity, which can drive more meaningful and lasting change. When people see how a new perspective supports their core values, they are more likely to embrace it willingly. Ultimately, using questions to reframe perspectives is about guiding others toward their own insights rather than imposing your viewpoint. It requires patience, empathy, and a genuine desire to help the other person see new possibilities. When you master the art of asking the right questions, you can lead people to new levels of understanding and influence their decisions in a way that feels empowering rather than controlling. This approach not only makes your influence more effective, but also strengthens your relationships by fostering trust and mutual respect. Influence is directly tied to the level of certainty and energy you bring to any interaction. People are naturally drawn to those who exude confidence and conviction because it provides a sense of stability and trust. When you speak with absolute certainty, it signals to others that you believe deeply in what you are saying. This level of belief is contagious. When you are fully convinced, others begin to question their doubts and align with your perspective. People are constantly looking for someone to follow, especially in situations of uncertainty or confusion. If you project a clear and unwavering sense of certainty, you position yourself as a leader, and others will naturally gravitate toward your point of view. Your energy plays a crucial role in how your message is received. The energy you bring to a conversation sets the emotional tone and influences how people respond to you. If you bring low energy, people are less likely to engage or be moved by your words. Conversely, when you radiate high energy, passion, and enthusiasm, you captivate attention and inspire action. Energy is not just about being loud or animated, it is about being fully present and emotionally connected to what you are communicating. When you embody the energy of belief and possibility, it breaks through resistance and opens people up to new ideas. People often remember how you make them feel more than the specific words you use, and the right energy can create a lasting impression. Certainty is especially powerful when others are uncertain. In moments of doubt or hesitation, the person with the strongest belief will always influence those around them. If you hesitate or seem unsure, people will question your message and may even reject it. On the other hand, when you maintain an unshakable conviction, others will borrow your certainty to fill the gaps in their own. This does not mean being rigid or dismissive of other viewpoints. It means standing firm in your belief while remaining open and adaptable. True certainty is rooted in a deep understanding of your message and a commitment to the value you are offering. When you speak from this place, your words carry weight, and people feel compelled to follow your lead. The ability to influence through certainty and energy also requires managing your internal state. Your external presence is a reflection of your internal world. If you feel uncertain or disconnected, it will show in your tone, body language, and delivery. Cultivating a powerful internal state means conditioning yourself to operate from a place of confidence and clarity consistently. This can be achieved through practices like visualization, affirmations, and focusing on past successes. When you consistently reinforce positive mental patterns, you create a foundation of certainty that others can feel. Your ability to influence grows when you show up consistently with the same level of belief, regardless of external circumstances. It is also important to match your energy to the context and the emotional state of the person you are influencing. If someone is feeling doubtful or afraid, meeting them with aggressive energy can create resistance. Instead, start by matching their emotional state and gradually elevate the energy to a more empowering place. This approach makes people feel understood while allowing you to lead them toward a more positive mindset. By calibrating your energy to the situation, you create a bridge between where the other person is and where you want them to go. Ultimately, people respond to the level of certainty and energy you bring into their lives. If you want to influence others, you must first influence yourself. When you embody an unshakable belief and deliver it with authentic energy, you become a force of influence that others cannot ignore. The more you practice stepping into this state, the more effortlessly you will inspire, persuade, and lead those around you. Changing someone's state is one of the ways to influence their decisions and behavior. Human beings do not make decisions purely based on logic. Our emotional and physical states play a massive role in how we think, feel, and respond. When a person is in a disempowered state, whether that means they are stressed, frustrated, or fearful, they are far more likely to resist new ideas and cling to familiar patterns. On the other hand, when someone is in a positive, empowered state, they become more open, flexible, and willing to see new possibilities. If you want to influence anyone, you must first learn how to shift their emotional and physical state. One of the fastest ways to change someone's state is through physical movement. Emotion is directly connected to motion. How a person holds their body affects how they feel. When someone is slouched, breathing shallowly, and speaking softly, they are likely in a low energy, negative state. By encouraging movement, whether through a simple stretch, a shift in posture, or more active physical gesture, you can immediately shift their emotional state. Even subtle changes in body language, like standing taller, breathing more deeply, or making eye contact, can create a noticeable shift in how a person feels. When people feel better physically, they think more clearly and become more receptive to new ideas. Language is another powerful tool for changing someone's state. The words we use shape our emotional experiences. Negative, limiting language can trap people in disempowered states, while positive, empowering language can lift them out of it. When someone is focused on problems or obstacles, asking the right questions can redirect their focus towards solutions and possibilities. For instance, instead of reinforcing a negative narrative, you could ask, what's something positive that could come out of this situation? This question interrupts their current thought pattern and invites a more resourceful way of thinking. By shifting the conversation toward empowering language, you help the other person break free from limiting emotions and open themselves to new perspectives. Another effective way to change someone's state is through the power of humor and playfulness. Laughter disrupts negative emotional patterns and instantly lightens the mood. When you make someone laugh, you break down walls of resistance and create a sense of connection. People are much easier to influence when they're relaxed and enjoying the interaction. Humor doesn't have to be forced. It can be as simple as sharing a playful observation or making light of a shared experience. The key is to use humor in a way that feels natural and appropriate to the moment. When people shift from a serious, tense state into a more playful, open one, they become more willing to engage with new ideas. Storytelling is another powerful method to influence emotional states. Stories bypass logical defenses and speak directly to emotions. A well-told story can transport someone into a different emotional reality, allowing them to experience new perspectives in a way that facts and arguments cannot. When you share a story that evokes inspiration, hope, or curiosity, you can guide the other person into a more receptive and resourceful state. This makes it easier to influence their thinking and behavior without direct persuasion. The emotional power of stories lingers long after the conversation ends, reinforcing the ideas you want to communicate. Ultimately, if you want to influence someone, you must recognize that their decisions are shaped by how they feel in the moment. By learning how to shift their physical and emotional state through movement, language, humor, and storytelling, you gain the ability to gain thoughts and actions in a positive direction. When people are in a peak state, they see more possibilities, feel more confident, and are more likely to align with your ideas. Influence is not just about what you say, it's about how you make people feel. By mastering the ability to change states, you become someone who can shape decisions and inspire action effortlessly.